from Devil Dogs.
Oh my gosh, okay, we're here with Marshal Hilton, and I just wanted to get some background on you.
Absolutely. Fire away.
Where did you grow up?
I was born in Long Beach, actually. I'm a native.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was born there and then basically grew up in Santa Barbara, Ventura area. So I was a surf rat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And did you always want to be an actor?
No, my mom wanted me to be one. Yeah, well, when you're a kid, my mom was dragging me around to auditions when I was a kid. And I did some work on The Courtship of Eddie's Father. That's how that was my big kid thing. Brandon Cruz was our neighbor. So we kind of just became friends, and they drugged me to the set. And I got my card, and it was like 71, I think, something like that. Wow, and so I was in and out of it for a long time, and then drifted in and out between that and playing music. I was a rock and roller for a long time. Question?
Okay, so what bands did you play with, and what instruments did you play?
I was a drummer. I was a virtuoso drummer as a kid. I had my first professional gig in music when I was in 8th grade. I played on a record. I was one of those crazy kids that was really good, and played that for a long time, but got kind of more into guitar and went between back and forth. Played in a lot of cover bands, toured a lot, did a lot of studio work, and it's just been one of the creative streams that's been in my world. I've bounced back between music and acting, pretty much back and forth for, 30 years.
So you're still in music then?
A little bit. I really took most of my studio and my engineering experience and started doing a lot of voiceover. Oh, okay. So I had an independent record label for a while. I was producing hip-hop records and doing some alternative rock for a while. And I kind of ran its course on that, kind of burned down on that a little bit, and then sold a bunch of gear and started doing a bunch of voice stuff. So I basically turned my studio into more of a voiceover arena. So I've been narrating audiobooks and, dropping jingles and network call stuff. Just did a spot for Indian motorcycles and stuff like that.
Oh, well, then you're perfect for the Devil Dogs of Cahill.
Well, no, what happened, I'll tell you exactly what happened. I was on Facebook, the power of social media. I was on Facebook, and somebody pointed me to this trailer for the Devil Dogs, and I looked at it, and I watched it, and it blew my mind.
No, it's great, isn't
it?
It
blew my mind because, and I was telling Kane this, I played with these little soldiers when I was a kid. I dug around in the dirt. We made forts. We made bunkers. We made trees. And this movie, I swear to God, for anybody my age that played with these little soldiers, this is the movie that you had in your head when you dug around in the dirt, when you were throwing rocks as bombs and you were making the noises and blowing guys up. We used to set up two sides, the green ones and the gray ones, me and my friend. Okay. And we would set up the entire battlefield, and we used to throw rocks. They were the bombs. And we would throw rocks at all of the positions until they were all dead, and the guy that had one left won. He was the winner. Then we moved from rocks to BB guns. We did BB guns and pellet guns. So he had a pellet gun, I had a BB gun, and we would shoot. We would, take shots, shoot until one guy had one left, and they were the winner. I mean, we used to do this stuff for hours. We didn't have video games. We didn't have cell phones, We didn't have any of that stuff that's out there right now. It's just your imagination and a pile of dirt and a little plastic soldier.
Yeah, I remember all those soldiers. That was great.
Oh, when I saw it, I flipped out. I sent the trailer to a bunch of my friends that are my age, and every single guy came back and said, that is badass. Where in the hell is that? So I think, it's just my gut. I don't know about you. You saw the trailer.
Yeah.
And it just completely hooked you like that. If you're our age, I smiled from ear to ear when I saw it. So I reached out to Bobby and said, dude, I want to be on this. I just sent him a message, never met him before. This is badass, I want to be on this. And he came back to me, and I pointed him to a bunch of voiceover stuff, and he called me and said, you're in. I said,
that's great.
Awesome, let's do it.
Okay, now I have to ask you about your latest film with Mark Savage.
Okay.
So tell us about it. Tell us about your character.
The movie is called 120/80, and it's about middle-aged men that make bad decisions. And they're stressed out, and they're going through divorce. And the lead is Bill Oberst Jr., and I know you know Bill.
Yeah.
Bill's a pretty dark guy. And it's really kind of a dark comedy with a little thriller edge to it. And I play his best friend, a guy named Stan Kelly, who's kind of divorced 3 times, the glass is half full kind of guy, even though he's just being beat to shit by his ex-wives. He's still optimistic about life, and it's a silly film. We shot it in Florida for 6 weeks. It was hot and humid and nasty, and Armand Asante came on board, and he plays this crazy detective that's really psycho.
Really?
Yeah, and he knows that Bill has been doing some bad things, and I'm Bill's accomplice in order to relieve his stress. So
Bill hooked you into it.
yeah, Bill hooked me into this scheme he's got to try and eliminate the stress in his life, and he's found a lot of different perverted ways to do that. And and I'm his best friend, so I'm kind of on for the ride. And it was an interesting shoot, a lot of fun. Armand was great to work with. Guy's amazingly intense. It was really great to to be around him and watch him work. It reminded me of the kind of work that we're supposed to do as actors. Very deep, very intense, very thoughtful, very prepared, and a method guy. And I can totally respect that. I come from that background, and he was. It was good to sit across from him and do scenes with him. Just because he's so intense. He's very intense. He's like Marlon Brando. He talks to you like this, with his chin up in the air because he's so Italian. He is. Well, he is. I mean, Armand is so Italian, and he's just like this, and he's always talking and looking around at you. It was a good film. It's finished. There's trailers floating for it. It's in the same process as about a dozen films that I've got going on right now. They're all looking for distribution.
Oh, okay.
Everybody's
Well,
looking to
what's
get
another
bought.
film that you've done recently?
Well, there's a bunch of them. There's 120 over 80. There's a new one I did with Gareth David Lloyd. He's the British actor. It's called I Am Alone. It's a reality-based survival film during a pandemic.
Oh, okay.
And so he's out filming one of those reality shows, and the world's going to hell. That's out there looking for distribution right now. God, I wish I had my list in front of me.
Well, it sounds like you are working a lot.
There's several of them, yeah. I'm going to be going out to the desert next week for 15 days shooting a creature feature. An urban legend thing. 5 coming-of-age teens go someplace and bad things happen to them.
Okay.
One of those types of things. So yeah, it's been good.
Okay,
it's been really good.
I can't wait to see you in 120 over 80. We both know Mark Savage very well.
Mark is an awesome guy. He's an amazing guy. He's so freaking smart. His intellect is just, it's hard to keep up with him. He's a really brilliant guy, especially when it comes to cinema. He knows everything. He knows everything about cinema and a little too much. And the stuff that he really is into is very interesting cinema. He likes that fringe Japanese.
He has a blog on it. So So anyway, I can't wait to see the film. Thank you.
Thank you very much for having me. It's good to meet you. Oh, let's get a picture.